Spanish police are investigating after a body was found tied up and burned in a tunnel on the side of a highway in Tenerife. According to local news outlet El Diaz, detective sources said the victim had suffered clear signs of violence and was likely set on fire after being bound. Footage from the area shows the Guardia Civil investigating tunnels running underneath the TF1 highway at La Listado in Acrico. It is unclear how long the body had been there after it was discovered on Monday, the 7th of October. Now this was a horrific attack. The body has still not been identified, but was discovered close to where the Belgian couple, Laura and Marc, vanished. In April, they had lived on the island for 17 years before neighbours became concerned when their door was left open and the cat was left unfed, indicating that they had gone missing. Now Laura and Marc had a blue car, a blue Opel Mokka with Spanish plates, and that also vanished. 5 days later, the body of Laura was found by a fisherman in the Atlantic. A plastic bag was placed over her head and both legs and one hand had been cut off, according to Belgian reports. Authorities estimated that she had died 3 days before being found. Detectives have so far found no trace of her husband Marc. Now many people are speculating that this burnt body that was found on the motorway could be Marc because of the close vicinity of where Laura went missing. The problem is, because the body was so severely burnt, they still haven't been able to identify who it is. Now I'm hoping they're going to be able to find out if it really is Marc or not through things like dental records. Now it wasn't so long ago that Jay Slater from Lancashire also went missing in Tenerife, and he was found dead at the bottom of a ravine. The Canary Islands seems to be plagued with all sorts of vicious crimes going on. Violent crimes, horrific crimes, murders all over the place. What is going on in the Canary Islands? It makes me think that if Jay Slater was involved in anything that he shouldn't have been involved in, then he had no chance out there because of the type of people that are in Tenerife. This whole island seems to be controlled through organized crime. Mafia organizations seem to be controlling things over there. I'm sure that the police must be getting paid off. Otherwise, there's no way people could get away with so many crimes. Makes you think, how corrupt are the civil guard, and were they capable of hiding what really happened to Jay Slater? You see, the civil guard have got a reputation of taking backhanders. Jay Slater's story doesn't seem to add up. The civil guard called off the search 2 weeks in, and then 29 days later, they just found him at the bottom of a ravine. How did they find him? Apparently they got a tip off. Well, who could have tipped him off that Jay Slater was there, and why couldn't they find him all that time? Are the civil guard lying to us? People seem to be getting away with so much on this island. You see, 3 years after being left for dead in a Tenerife flat, his killer still walked free. An inquest has heard the tragedy of Andrew Walsh. Now Andrew Walsh is also from Lancashire, the same place as Jay Slater and Nicola Bulley. The coroner ruled that the Preston dad was murdered in Tenerife 3 years on from his death. Now Tenerife has got a long history of British people being attacked there. If we go all the way back up to 2011, there was a Bulgarian man named as Dayan, and he murdered and beheaded a British woman in Tenerife inside a supermarket. Now back in them days, the sentences seemed to be a lot stricter, and he was sentenced to 20 years in prison.